Recently, there was a guy staying at the resort that I work at, but he was drunk. He was acting very strange. Therefore, he asked me how long we keep this security camera footage for, because he was drunk and he tried to start a fight with one of our house persons. He was acting really aggressive. Because he was acting so aggressive, he went to his room and started smashing things in the room. And a girl who was staying with him came to the front desk crying. We called the cops and they came, and the guy was being quite cooperative apparently, and said he was willing to pay for the damages to the room. I'm having second thoughts about going on vacation this winter. I might go in the spring. This winter I was planning on going on vacation to Thailand, but it would be so expensive for me to do that. I have other goals like paying off my debt and moving out of my parents' house. So the money I would spend on my trip to Thailand might make it so it would take me much longer to reach those goals. A round trip flight from Canada to Thailand costs over $2,000 Canadian. A hotel for 2 weeks would cost me about $2,000. I'm not sure how much food would cost me, but I wouldn't be surprised if it would cost me $1,000. Now I also have to buy a laptop too if I would go to Thailand. The reason for that is that there are things to do in Thailand other than using a computer, but sometimes the best thing to do is just to spend some time in the hotel on the computer. The computer I have is an Apple iMac that is too big to take on a jet with me to Thailand. It might make sense for me to buy a cheap laptop since I will only use it for 2 weeks per year. When I'm on vacation. But I don't really like to do that. I like to buy excellent products, even if it means spending a lot of money on them. So the laptop could cost me another $2,000. So $2,000 for the plane ride, $2,000 for the hotel, $2,000 for the laptop, plus $1,000 for food is $7,000. One reason I might go to Thailand is just to start a relationship with a girl. There are 2 girls that I had a relationship with in Thailand. I did not have a relationship with both girls at the same time. They weren't my girlfriends, but we were dating. I'm thinking about trying to become the boyfriend of one of those girls. The only problem is I'm not sure which girl to choose. Don't get me wrong. It's quite likely that neither of the girls will want to get back with me, but I could try. One of the girls smokes cigarettes, and that's a big turnoff for me. not judge too much as I was smoking cigarettes in Thailand. But I am now not smoking cigarettes now. I want to maintain $3,000 in my checking account. If I went on the trip to Thailand, my checking account balance would go below $3,000, meaning that I would be charged a fee from my bank account, about $6 per month. If I maintain a balance of $3,000 or more every day in a month, but with less than 12 debit transactions, I'm not charged a service fee. But that's not the only reason I'm thinking about not going on vacation. If I went on vacation, it would delay my goal of moving out of my parents' house. I'll be 34 in November 16th, so I'm really too old to be living with my parents. There is an apartment for rent in the town that I live in. It's not staff housing. I don't think I would want to live in staff housing. As to do that, you have to live with like 5 other people. In staff housing, the rent starts at $200 per month, which is cheap. But like I said, you have to live with all those other people. And I'll have to try not to annoy them and try not to be annoyed by them. The apartment that is not staff housing will be available December 1st, 2022. It's a small 2-bedroom apartment. I would live there by myself. I might have to get it as there are very few apartments in the small town that I live in. So if I don't get it now, it might not be available in the future. That's a big reason why maybe I shouldn't go on vacation this winter. The rent for the apartment that is not staff housing is $600 plus utilities per month, or at least electricity would be extra. If I lived alone, I would need a car to go get groceries, as the grocery store is located about a 15-minute drive one way from the apartment. So I would need to buy a car. A decent used car would probably cost me about $5,000 Canadian. I would need about $2,000 for the first month of rent, damage deposit, groceries, cell phone, and utilities. And you have some money to spare in case I have unexpected expenses. I also owe a lot of money to my parents. It's a hard decision. On one hand, it's like YOLO. You only live once. So I should go on vacation and enjoy the experience. And maybe if I don't go to Thailand and try to get back with one of those girls now, they will get boyfriends and I'll lose my chance with them forever. On the other hand, it seems like the best thing to do might be to be responsible and either pay off my debt or move out. Also, like I said, I might lose the opportunity to get an apartment if I don't act quickly. But if I didn't get the apartment soon, I would be able to pay off my debt much sooner. It would be hard to save up money if I would rent the apartment, as the rent with utilities would come to about $700. Then I would need to pay for food, gas, car insurance, car payments, etc. Or I could just buy the car, so I wouldn't have car payments, but that would mean I would have much less money to pay my parents back with. Another idea I have is to get an apartment, but get the apartment but not live in it until I pay my parents back the money that I owe them. So I would be renting the apartment but living with my parents. That way I wouldn't have to buy my own food or pay my utilities, so I can make sure nobody else gets the apartment. But I could be effectively saving money to pay my parents back with. Then, once I saved up enough money to pay my parents back, I would move into the apartment. Anyways, I think I should probably skip the vacation for the winter and either go for the apartment or pay off my debt. I have a goal for YouTube. I would be able to reach this goal once I would get about 20,000 subscribers. And in that case, I would be making about $2,000 per month from advertisements and tips. I would have my own house, probably a 3-bedroom house. It would be a basic house, nothing fancy. I would live near my parents, so I would be able to see them often. Also near my parents is a national park. And it's very beautiful. I can go swimming in the lake that's quite clear. The air is fresh and the crime rate is very low. I also have one friend that comes up here sometimes to visit his parents. His parents live here, so he sometimes comes to see me after he sees his parents. And I have 2 friends that have a cottage up here. see me sometimes when they go to their cottage. I would have my own car. It would probably be a Honda Civic, something reliable and something that doesn't burn a lot of gas. YouTube would be my only job other than owning some properties, perhaps. I might own a restaurant or another house and be renting out the restaurant and or house for profit. I would wake up in the morning when I wanted to wake up and start working when I would want to start working. I would spend some of my time writing scripts and making videos. I would have the same video making equipment as I have right now. I would make about one video every 2 weeks. I would spend 20 hours or less working per week. I would have a wife and we would have 1 or 2 kids. I would have a fire pit in the backyard so my family could have bonfires. And I would probably have a sauna and a hot tub. You might be wondering what I would do if I gained 1 million subscribers on YouTube. The stuff I would have wouldn't change very much. I wouldn't need a mansion or anything like that. But I might buy a house in Thailand and have a house in Canada too. The house in Thailand I would use for my vacations. If I made a huge amount of money from YouTube, I might also have a nice garden in my backyard. I would pay a gardener to maintain the garden, as it would be quite a big garden, and I wouldn't want to maintain the garden myself. That's a lot of work. The garden would have bushes, flowers, and vegetables, I guess. I'm not sure what car I would buy if I had a huge amount of money. I'm not really a car guy. My last video popped off. I looked at the percentage of impressions coming from YouTube recommending my content, and it was at 90+%. I've never seen it that high before. That's awesome. It's down to about 63% now, but it's still a personal record for me. The video is ranked 1 out of 10 for the first, I think, 14 days and 8 hours, or actually I'm not sure how many hours, but 13 or 14 days compared to my video's typical performance. It says my views are up 33% or more. It says that more regular viewers are choosing to watch the video and they're watching longer than usual, helping to increase its reach on YouTube recommendations. Also, it said that my estimated revenue, not just from that video, but all my videos, was higher than usual. That's so awesome for me for a long time, because for a long time my revenue was down. So thank you for your support. There's a fair bit of snow outside now. It's getting colder, but I'm still going for walks outside. I usually go for my walks on my days off work. I need to get serious about dieting soon. I say that as I eat chips. I was trying to diet lately, but I have failed, unfortunately. I ate too much. I'm positioning my microphone differently now. Most of the time my mouth wasn't near my mic because I set it up in front of me but I was looking to the left on my computer screen. Now my mic is positioned so it's closest to my mouth when I am looking to the left on my computer screen. I mostly look to the left at my computer screen. I have delusions that people are copying me. I recognize that now, though before I didn't. I used to think when people said the word simple on TV that they were talking about me because my name on the internet is simple. And I used to think that when people wore the color green, they were wearing green because they admired me. Because I may have tried to start a gang that had the gang color green, but I'm not a gangster. Anyways, I understand that people are just wearing green, not because of me, but for their own reasons. Same with using the word simple. I'm sorry it took me so long to publish this video. I wrote a script and it took me so long to finally finish editing it. Before I knew it, it was like 11 days had gone by since the last time I published a video. I watched a very interesting YouTube video about how to make good vlogs. What I found most interesting was how the individual said that we should use the words but and therefore when telling a story rather than using the words and then. She said that beginner vloggers present their day or their experience in a linear timeline instead of communicating the causation from one scene to the next and really expressing the rise and fall of action and bringing in the tension and the reveal and the payoff. her example of a bad storytelling would be to say, I woke up and started my day, and then I checked my to-do list, and then I made a coffee, and then I did some work, and I kind of felt anxious. Then I did some positive affirmations and got back to work. So it's just a long list of what somebody did. An example of a good storyline would be, this morning I woke up knowing that I had a massive to-do list to tackle today. But I was really exhausted, so my list seemed totally insurmountable. But deadlines are deadlines, and I needed to get it all done. Therefore, I made myself a coffee and I got down to work. Because I made myself a coffee, I was super productive with my work, but all the caffeine made me really anxious. I was really starting to doubt myself. I didn't think I could complete my work today, but I also didn't think I was very good at my work in general. Just total imposter syndrome moment. Therefore, I had to remind myself of my mantra: plan your work and work your plan. Everything can be done if I make a plan and execute on it. So I reminded myself of my affirmations, shrugged off my imposter syndrome, and got to work. The person who said this was a YouTuber named Katie Steckley. But before I watched a video that I had wrote, before I watched that video, I had wrote the first part of this script using, and then remember how I talked about the drunk guy in the resort? That's what I mean. After I watched her video, I changed the first part of the script about the drunk guy into a story that used therefore, because, and but. Hopefully I made it more interesting, and hopefully I did it the right way. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos where I talk about my life, then maybe you'll like the video that's on the screen now. Okay, bye.